My name is Steve Moreland, and this is Success Publishing, and I'm here with Steve Eastin today. And unfortunately, he's not from Texas, but he's from the next best state you could be from, and that's Colorado. So welcome, Steve.
Hey, thank you, Steve. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it. I'm honored.
Yeah, so how are things up there in Colorado these days?
You know what? We've got some sunshine the last couple of days,
Right.
but still windy, but beautiful day today.
Awesome. Okay, so what part of the state are you actually from?
Let's see. I am from a very small town. We don't even have a stoplight out here. It's called Kiowa, Colorado, and it's just beautiful. It's Eastern Plains of Colorado, basically, is what it is.
Okay, good, good. All right. So, well, listen, the reason why we wanted to have you, on the show today is just to get a chance to do an interview, because one of the things we love to do is interview authors. That's what we're about, is helping individuals that are already awesome, what I call top guns, and they're looking for a way to become an author. And that's what we love, is finding individuals like you that have an awesome story. And so, you've just recently been published. So first thing we want to do is, I got to see a copy of the book. You got a copy
Oh,
of the
absolutely.
book, right? Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm very proud of it. You betcha. Yep.
There. Oh,
There's
yeah.
the book.
Perfect. Okay. Yeah, that is awesome. It come out really, really well. Wow.
It did. It did.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm very proud of it.
Sounds good. So I want to go through and find out, a little bit about you, kind of how you got to this point in your life, and what really inspired you to become an author. And, what did you write about? What was that passion inside of you? That's that story that all of us seem like to have trapped inside of us. And we're always wanting to, get it out there so that we can help other people know more about us, who we are, why we're here, and people are mostly wanting to get published because they're looking for a opportunity to leave like a legacy, right? To make an impact, right? So that their life matters. So let's start off with, tell me a little bit about, who is Steve Eastin?
Okay. Well, thanks for that. I appreciate it. And, I guess listening to you, what you're asking me is really what inspired me to write this book. And in 2015, I was able to retire from law enforcement. I put in almost 20 years in law enforcement. And then when you come out of that profession and you sit on the sidelines from going to be able to help hundreds of people per month, to basically, now what do I do? I'm not feeling like I'm helping people right now. What is it that I can do? And it all just kind of fell into place. When I retired, I started writing the book, and then basically on my journey, I met you, and I met Success Publishing, and that just it was a God thing. It all just felt together perfectly. Right. And so it's just inspired me to tell my story. I thought that was the way maybe I can get out and start helping some people based off of my journey and some of the lessons that I've learned along the way. And just don't quit. Just keep moving. So
Keep moving, right.
It's fell into place really nicely.
Yeah.
Very blessed.
Well, I always want to say, anytime I meet someone that is, put their life in harm's way, is thank you for your service.
Amen. Thank you. I appreciate that. You're very welcome.
I'd
do it all over again.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that is one of the things I've had, great opportunity to meet law enforcement, and, I put law enforcement and military service members, in the same level, at a very high level of admiration, because, I don't know if there is a greater thing that you can do for, your fellow human being than to risk your life to make sure that they're safe. So you're awesome.
Absolutely. Thank you. I appreciate that. It means a lot. Thanks a lot, Steve.
So you take a life of service, of putting your life at risk, and, eventually you decide, okay, it's time to switch gears. But because of who you are as an individual, that doesn't mean that your life of service is over. And that's what I hear when I read and look at the content and what you put together in this book. That's what resonates to me.
Well, absolutely. And that's just been that's a small part of it. I had so much more to say, and I'm going to say it eventually. But the point of the book is to, don't let anything hold you back. I mean, I'm 54 years old, and I feel like I'm starting a fresh, brand new life. Right. So whatever it is, you absolutely feel whatever's holding you back. Write that down, understand it, and then eliminate it from your life. And then just figure out how to proceed forward. And I did it. I guess one of the things is just hang around a positive group of people. that is so important.
Mm-hmm.
And just listen to what they have to say and just keep moving forward. And that's it.
So that's really, I guess you'd say, the theme or the nutshell of your book, that, is to first of all identify what I call the 800-pound gorilla. What's between you and this ultimate version of yourself? Because I think, most people that I find that are good people, they always have somewhere in the top of things they're trying to get to is, how do I become a better version of me? Right.
Yes, sir.
And I think, that's what have always seen in this, whether someone is reading, or they're trying to learn a new language, or they're trying to become a better parent, maybe a better spouse, better member of the community. All those are then connected to, how do I become a more fit person mentally, physically, all that. So all those things you see people, and, whether they're on YouTube or they're on other types of, social platforms, you see this constant and never-ending improvement, right?
You bet.
And so you're talking about that by itself is going to be pushed back or defeated if you don't define what is that big 800-pound gorilla that's your obstacle.
That's absolutely correct. I mean, you've got to, yeah, one of the things for me, what I've learned since I left law enforcement is that I've had the opportunity to actually live the lifestyle that I want to live. I get to make my own choices. And that is really important to me. And I want to stress that with other people, that if you are living in that rat race, and that 9 to 5, 8 to 5 rat race, and you're just not enjoying your life, you need to figure out a way to do that, because life is so short.
Sure.
So find out your destiny, find out your purpose, think outside the box, take a risk, and give something a different shot once in a while, and see how it turns out. Yeah.
So that's the focus of what you've now written. So, that's something that's going to be inspiring a lot of people. So tell me, in your mind's eye, where do you see Steve Eastin, kind of schedule me out here in front? You have this ultimate version that I call is kind of like the end goal, but where do you see yourself, like maybe in 5 years from now, and now that you've become an expert as an author?
Oh my gosh, 5 years from now. Well, I'm looking forward to it, actually. And with this book, Limitless Success, and with my next book that I have coming out, that's my full story, good, bad, and ugly. I want to be able to share that story and to basically give people hope. And a lot of it's based off of law enforcement and all kinds of different addictions and preventions of suicide and all kinds of things like that. So I guess in 5 years, with this author experience, and then with my next book, I see myself hopefully getting in front of hundreds and thousands of people, and maybe even, outside the United States, and share my stories and how you can rebound and stay in the fight. So that's where I see myself. That's some of my goals. I just want to be in front of people and inspire them.
Absolutely. And so now, I guess I'm curious, because I always love working with authors in general, but new authors, because it's a transformative process. Going from the idea that I want to be published, and then all of a sudden you see yourself going through the publishing process, and you start pinching yourself, going, "This is really happening. This is what's the right word? It's not eventual. This is what's the right word?
It's real."
It's real. Yeah. This is happening.
It's happening.
And then all of a sudden, boom, there you are. I saw you on one of your videos, I guess it was Facebook, and you're opening up a box and getting out your book for the first time. What did that feel like?
Oh my gosh, that was surreal is what it was. I'm like, wow, this is really happening. And it was a process, and you guys helped along that process. You guys were awesome. But actually getting my daughter to videotape that day and seeing me open a book with my face on it, it solidified what I was doing. And the fact that I want to leave a legacy of character and, to be remembered someday. And it just all came together. I'm like, all right, it's going to give me the confidence to continue on and hit my goal and purpose and destiny. And really cool. Yeah.
So I guess where I have to always ask, is one of my favorite questions, is what is the most unexpected surprise as a new author? You're I mean, this has been a transformation. I mean, you're already, absolutely awesome guy, Top Gun, have already what I consider, have invested your life in doing an ultimate service and, been a public service, all your life. And now you're stepping that up to the next level. Bingo, you become published. Now you're an expert in your subject matter. Was there a surprise in this transformation process?
A few of them, actually.
Okay.
When you actually see your book and you get to add author to your resume and to your email and best-selling and best new release,
Yes.
it's like, wow, that really happened. And this is just me.
Right.
So I guess book signing, that was weird. People coming up and asking you to sign the book, which is awesome because
Right.
I love to meet people. I love new people. I love to hear their stories. So that was really cool. I think the most unexpected thing it did for me in 2015 when I retired, I started taking notes on my career and my journey and how I got to where I was and a whole bunch of other things within that book. And there were sleepless nights. I'd jump up, I'd take notes from that, in my mind saying, oh, I got to put this in a book. I got to put this in a book.
Right.
And I would write those notes down. And by accomplishing this Limitless Success book and becoming the author for the first time, it convinced me that the book I want to write, the book I was writing, it's no longer going to be a journal. It's going to be a book, and it's going to have a purpose and a meaning. And I've got to finish it. It's bigger than me. It's exposing story, but it's bigger than me, and I have to get it out there. So that was a blessing in disguise.
Cool. Well, I think like everything that we go through when we challenge ourselves and push ourselves past what we think is the edge of our performance.
Right. Right.
And you just really throw yourself on off the cliff, not knowing whether or not you know how to squirrel, you got a squirrel suit on or your parachute's going to work. You just go ahead. And, I see you already have jumped into this new environment. And what that does is it's like a confirmation ripple effect, is the other things in your life that you were kind of sitting back here going, I don't know if that's going to happen or how is that going to happen? Then all of a sudden you throw yourself into it.
Right.
And now here you are all of a sudden, on your bucket list, bingo, man, I'm an author. And then you're like, well, man, I already became an author of one book. Oh, why don't I do another one? Why don't I help more people? Why don't I serve in a bigger, like you said, something that's bigger than you? And that's really what legacy is about.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's just it's just a purpose to get it out there. And man, I'm so excited. Yeah. I couldn't have done it without you guys.
Well, I appreciate, the opportunity to work with you. I appreciate the opportunity to help you with your second book. That's also really cool. And just, anything else we can do. I think you're an awesome guy. I know people are going to love reading your book and getting a chance to, not just to, hear this video or whatever, but as you are able to get out there and become viral on social media, getting on speaking platforms or whatever, they're going to get a chance to actually know who you are inside and feel what it means to be that servant leader. And that's what I think you are just an absolute perfect image of.
Thank you, Stephen. I appreciate that. And I just hope to motivate people to just don't let anything hold you back. Yeah. When I started this journey, I'm like, I let so much hold me back, my age, your looks, what's your credibility. Right. You don't know unless you go out and find it. So, just take the leap of faith.
Yeah, I agree with you on that part there. That's most of the time they won't give us folks down here in Texas. They don't give us a camera because they know what we look like, and they know we don't want to. Right. We shouldn't be on camera, So, but every once in a while we kind of smuggle one in, and it just kind of sits there. And everybody else says, well, if some Shrek-looking dude like that can get on camera, then then I can get on it too. So. Those are the kind of things there that, when I get those little notes that says, you look like Shrek, but that's okay. That's that makes me feel better. That's how us Texans are.
Hey, love those haters. That's motivation right there.
Yeah, I love them for sure. So anyway, my friend, I have certainly enjoyed getting a chance to interview you and hear just your purpose and your mission and I would say just the authenticity of who you are as a man. And great getting a chance just to get to know you. Looking forward to getting kind of continuing this journey with you. And thank you for being who you are.
Thank you. You as well. And you're going to hear more from me. And thanks to you guys. All of it goes to you guys. Thank you so much.
Take care, my friend.
You bet. Take care.